So, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to APAGE-ISMIVS webinar episode 2. It is my great pleasure and honor to participate this webinar as a chairperson. So first, I would like to introduce all the chair and speakers of this episode 2. Co-chair is Professor Angela Sison Aguilar from Philippines. First speaker will be Professor Philippe Descamps from France. Next, Professor Chii-Ruey Tzeng from Taiwan. Then Dr. Jordi Rodriguez Gonzalez from Spain. And maybe finally, Dr. Wei-Chun Chen from Taiwan, as scheduled. So will you let me invite co-chair Professor Angela Aguilar to give some remarks? Please start.
Thank you, Professor Tsutsumi Osamu. I would like to introduce the chair of this very important session, and I'd like to thank the organizers also for giving me this opportunity to participate. To introduce the chair of our session, Professor Tsutsumi Osamu is a professor of the Graduate School of International University of Health and Welfare. He is the director of the Sano Hospital in Japan, is an auditor and past president of the Japan Society of Gynecologic and Obstetric Endoscopy and Minimally Invasive Therapy. He was the past president of the Japan Society for Fertilization and Implantation and the past president and past Congress president of the Asia Pacific Association for Gynecologic Endoscopy and a president of the Obstetric and Gynecologic PRP Treatment Study Group. So I'd like to invite and yield the virtual floor to Professor Tsutsumi to introduce our first speaker for this evening. Professor.
Yeah. Thank you for your kind introduction, Professor Angela. I now invite Professor Philippe Descamps. He is a professor, University of Hospital Angers, France, and director of International Relations Committee for CNGOF, and vice president of SCGP, France Society of Pelvic Surgery, and also FIGO executive board members. And he has numerous publications listed here. So will you please start, Professor Phillips?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It's a real privilege for me to be here today and to introduce this very important webinar. I put the first slide on. Is it working? Is it okay? You have the slide?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so as I said, it's a real privilege, and I'm involved in this HIFU experience since more than 2 years, and I would like to thank, of course, the company, and we're working very hard to make the promotion of this new technique in France. So as an introduction, it's a very prestigious webinar and very well-known speakers today. I just would like to say that it's a major evolution for the treatment of myomas and adenomyosis. Okay, I don't have the next slide. I'm really sorry.
Take it easy.
Okay, it's working. So I'm living in the western part of France, in the Loire Valley, and for those of you that came to France, it's a really beautiful place. So of course, we all knew this evolution of skipping from conventional open surgery to laparoscopy and then to HIFU, which means no surgery at all and no scars. And of course, we were all involved in laparoscopic procedures, but now it's a very, very new adventure for us. Fibroids, you know that fibroids is a major concern for women. And in France, there's a difference between Caucasian women, white women, and Afro-Caribbean women and Asian women. And there are more fibroids among Afro-Caribbean women, which is 10% of the population in Europe. And the estimation is that the fibroids will be symptomatic, which means we'll need a treatment in 33% of the cases, which is, of course, a huge concern for women and for doctors. And it's in worldwide, it's the #1 indication for hysterectomy in France. Okay, it's a bit slow, but probably the computer or the website or anything. Sorry. I'm waiting. I don't know what's happening. Do you hear me here? Yes? Okay, so I'm sorry, it doesn't work. Maybe the internet connection. Okay, do you hear me? Yes, it's okay for hearing?
Yes.
Okay, I'm pressing the buttons and I think it will finally work. So the message is we are, you know that there are more than 227 HIFU centers worldwide, and in Europe, in my region of the world, there are HIFU centers in Spain, of course, and we'll have the opportunity and the luck to hear Jordi Rodriguez after. In England, in Germany, and we are working very hard now to have the reimbursement in France from the Ministry of Health, and I'm very optimistic that this will it will be a success. I'm sorry for the slides. And of course, HIFU is a major indication for fibroids and adenomyosis. And it means no scar, it means one-day procedure, it means no complications, and it's very important. We all know that there were in 2019 the NICE recommendations, and there's been a price published in December 2020, which was £4,000 for a procedure. And of course, those recommendations are based on the literature. There is a huge literature analysis, and it's very important worldwide to have those recommendations. Maybe the main message today is to say that I'm so sorry for the slides. I think the internet connection. The main message is to say that it's a major evolution for women because of there are no scars, no complications, and also it can be of importance in the concern of adenomyosis and fibroids. Before an IVF treatment, and it's a real new point to stress on, and the following speakers will speak about this. And it's a possibility to have an HIFU treatment before IVF procedure and before fertility treatments. So this was my lecture. I'm really sorry for the slides, and I wish a very good success to this very important webinar, and I keep connected for any questions for France and Europe. Thank you very much.